So, all right, guys, welcome once again to the Joy Human Banks channel. It's been a while. For today, we're going to be having a very brief conversation, and it's going to be around the fact that would you have preferred your ancestors to be transported to Europe as slaves, and then you now be born abroad? So that's the idea. Would you have preferred, or you would prefer that they had remained in Nigeria or Africa, and then you'll be born in Nigeria or Africa? So that's how the conversation today is going to be like. So, let me start with Kumi. Your mic.
Oh boy.
Okay. So you understand the topic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you have preferred? Like, would you have preferred that your parents? Sorry,
Not
I
my
mean
parents.
your great.
With the situation of this country, I beg, with the kind of go have here. Because like, what's the use being here now? Like,
Okay.
but although I think at that time they won't have thought that Nigeria would be this bad.
Yeah.
Get me? But like now there's like this. If we can go back in time, or they carry them, or don't
Okay.
vex
Let
me.
me hear from Emeka then. What's your own?
So personally, I would not have. I'm not of the opinion that they should have carried them.
Okay.
I'm not.
So you prefer to have been born in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's that?
First of all, let's look at the concept of slavery.
Okay.
Slavery is like you pack them from where they really are, from where they are originally from. They take them away to a foreign land.
continent, yeah.
So that one alone is enough to destroy someone. Because personally, you don't want to go somewhere, then they force you there. Then it's not like they only force you there; they only force you there. Like they took you there and they are using you as a slave. A slave in
Yeah.
the sense that you are doing things you don't want to do. Like psychologically, they will destroy you. Everything, like
Yeah.
you are down already. So thinking about it from their own perspective is very bad. Like I wouldn't have allowed them to go.
So you prefer to have been born in Nigeria?
Sure, because even Nigeria here is not like, although the situation generally is bad. I'm being sincere, yeah, for real.
So you enjoy the fact that you were being born here.
Actually, generally is like it looks like it's bad, but if you look at it
looks like,
personally,
it's bad.
it's bad actually. But personally, or let's say from each family, it's not like everything is bad like that. Like it's not bad. Let's say
Okay, it's not bad
not
from your own
bad
family.
So why should I allow my?
No, I
First time,
feel
24 hours, no day. No bad.
exactly. I feel like
100.
let's look at all those French colonized countries, and let's look at some, for instance, in the world of football, the likes of them Pogba and the rest,
Yeah.
that they took their forefathers and everywhere away. I mean, in a way, it's almost similar to what we are trying to talk about.
But
here.
I'm sorry, but do you know that Chicago in the 1960s, the blacks were more of thugs. Even till now, blacks are more like thugs over there.
But US is not about US colonizing.
Yeah, it's not okay actually. But do you know that even there are some blacks there that they took their grandparents or let's say forefathers, they took them away, and they are not even enjoying now. And
Like-
even some here,
compared to us here.
no, the
I mean,
state of the nation
see,
is bad.
to an extent,
I
we
feel
are,
like individuality, like there's the part of individuality. there
I
too.
feel like to an extent, there's, as humans, we have the ability to adapt. I mean, it's in the old Mr. Niger D. We are able to adapt to an extent. So whether or not they take us there, at a point, those our so-called forefathers would have been able to try to adapt. But the whole origin of going there, it sounds very, very, very archaic though, because like along the line there are a lot of Africans that if they check the Meridian Sea and everywhere, most of them they are
Yeah, I
dead.
was just going to say that.
Yeah, that's a lot of them. I have a friend of mine that said they didn't make it. They were just throwing them aboard and everything like that. So looking at that concept, we can feel like okay, yeah, to an extent, it's not really that. But let's deep it though. Is Nigeria worth the wait?
Let's say they made it. Let's say they made it.
Yes.
To Europe. Let's say they were not.
Okay, hypothetically speaking.
Yeah,
Okay.
they made it. They actually made it to Europe.
I feel at a point they will find something for themselves.
I feel because
Bro.
even now people are trying to like
the
japa
Japa
syndrome.
syndrome,
But even
exactly.
though it's not like wanting your grandparents to not sacrifice. Like you can japa now, but it's not like your grandparents should not suffer. Do you know that those slaves, like what they went through?
No,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not.
Let's hear from Alan.
Firstly, you were in your grandparents' shoes. No, now you are just saying it now because life is just going easy. Do you know? Do you
Life,
know what?
life's not.
Do you know what? Do you know what those slaves went through? If you were in your grandparents' shoes, would you allow them carry you? Let's just be real here. Do you know what it is to be a slave? I would personally, I would not want any family of mine to go through that kind of trauma just because I want to dance.
No,
You can jam and still die.
See,
Wait, Joy, but
what
I'm
I
saying?
say? What I say?
being ordinary a prisoner that is just lock you in a room. Prisoner,
Yes.
say you commit sin, they can't lock you.
Did you see images
But this one, slave.
of children being
I
in a
mentioned
cage?
something. I mentioned something.
Let me speak.
I mentioned something.
Let me speak. Didn't you see children images of children being locked up in cages? Do you know that kind of thing? Did you see images of children being locked up in cages? How will you imagine? That is just being selfish.
I'm not being so. You remember what I
because you
said in
want
the
to
beginning?
judge.
Remember what I
Because
said in
your
the
country is
beginning? I was like, if we could go back in time
Yeah.
and see everything that is going through. I mean, to an extent, okay, fine. Slavery is wrong. This is definitely bad.
Yeah.
But let's think about it from this perspective. That there are some of those slaves that they later made it. Yes or no? Barack Obama's dad is Kenyan. Yes or no? He went to a foreign land and went through a bit of problem and everything. Not as a slave, definitely, maybe not as a slave, but of course as a black man in a let's say white society, it wasn't easy for him.
Sorry, Kumi, how are you expecting them to know that Nigeria will be in a very bad place at this stage?
That's why I said if we look back
Oh,
in time.
please.
That's why I say if we can go back in time and then look
I
forward.
feel like there should be no justification for my family members or anybody to go through that kind of slavery and kill.
I'm not saying slavery is good,
But
yeah.
let me ask you a question. But the condition that I don't want to say your family members, but the condition that a lot of us are living in Nigeria now, don't you think it would have been better that some of us would have been there? And then perhaps could have. Let's talk about the likes of Lil Wayne. Let's talk about the likes of the Black Americans that we all know today. Do you think those guys would have had that level of success if they were probably in Africa?
I've seen instances of people that were in Africa that later left. Giannis Antetokounmpo was from Nigeria.
Okay.
He left and he was still successful. Did his parents did they cut their legs off?
His parents, did you watch the story?
Wait, are you
They didn't go
listening
easily.
to me?
Why-
Yes.
why did
but
he change
They
his
were
mind?
not slaves. They were not slaves.
Yes, they were not slaves.
So
That is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying here. That it doesn't have to be the old slavery.
Wait, let's make
That is what slave.
we are
That is
talking
what.
about a topic here.
Yes.
Would you rather
Allow your grandparents go through slave trade so you can be born abroad.
No slave, no. No, I
That's
got you.
basically what
Right.
he's
Nah, I
saying.
got you. Right. Nah, no
Now
slave.
you are dipping with
Nah,
dipping
no
Tell me.
slave trade.
different from
That's-
immigration? Say your parents.
Yes, it's very
I was going to. I was talking about immigration.
A lot of the examples that
Nah,
people are
slavery
making
now.
mention now, it's just immigration.
Immigration.
You get a lot of the people that their parents were part of the slave origin. They don't forget their origin.
Yes, we know they've forgotten their origin.
You understand?
Those are the Black Americans that we have to.
But
Yeah.
if it's up to me, I go just talk say the person wey go carry my future sperm, make they put am there. You understand? You get me? So make they born me for there.
So
I no
for
want make him suffer. Make they just carry my sperm down for him place.
Okay, so but you go like me, they born you abroad, but you know go like to suffer. You know like me, your parents go through that
Nah.
slave trade.
Ah,
You know,
no.
it's just being biased. Oh, of course they go suffer, obviously. They will suffer. But then,
So-
people wey suffer too, then get too head. Make they get time to make them sacrifice for their future generation.
Can you
Ori ẹ dàrú. Wetin you think say I dey do now? I dey work hard. I dey look for money wey be say I go change.
And let them be beating you like a dog. And you
go
know them
abroad
they're
and go and
smacking
do
you.
menial labor so
And they
you
put you in
can
a
get
cage.
What if your cousin dey carry your cousin too
And
go
they
that
put you
time?
in a cage. Would you
And they
like
talk say what if they
But,
carry
but
your cousin
some
go that time?
of those ones that did not go as slaves, it's not like they had a better life here in Africa.
But then let's be realistic. Is it not people that are born in Africa that are doing well? People like Rema, people like it's just that the percentage is small.
Those are just few out of these very, very, very slow. Like
Yeah.
very very slow. So to an
Well,
extent,
see, anyhow, Sha, we would all be
I
fine.
disagree, Sha.
no, I believe slavery is no slavery
The
is
truth
not
is, slavery is just inhuman. Nobody should ever wish it on everyone.
exactly.
It should not be
It's
because
crazy.
you want to.
I remember when my dad went to
But we are
Ghana,
selfish now,
Fiji,
by
that
nature.
place of
Obviously.
no return.
Yeah,
The
thank you very
images
much.
there are terrifying.
They've all said it all. They've all said it all, like seriously. Because when we're talking of slavery, it's a system whereby people are treated inhuman and people are categorized as property.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying now? So like we considering that okay, our forefathers should have gone through that process. Being a slave is inhuman and is not sensitive.
At all, at all.
Sure you get it. So but Nigerian situation right now, to be sincere, we have to be frank with ourselves, understand. But notwithstanding, not that they should go through slavery, but it would have been better if you have maybe the background, like, and even we have those black Americans that they are in poverty. The black most 80% of black Americans are in poverty because of this racism of a thing. Like those whites don't give them chance.
They are living far better than the people in Africa.
Yeah, because that their poverty there is something millionaire here. Sure you get. I get what you are saying. So I would just advise that everybody should work hard. You know, work hard and yeah. Once we work hard and we know where we are, we focus and we know where we are going to. But we saying that our forefathers should have gone through slavery
No.
is out of it.
Okay, so come here, me for it.
So Kumi was supporting, right? I heard Kumi supporting.
No, I wasn't
You are
supporting. No, I didn't. I wasn't supporting. Of course, how will I support that my great grandfathers go through slavery? And my point there, what I was trying to say before, I didn't get you well. I was trying to talk based because my examples were also based on immigration too. What I was trying to say there was like if we could look back in time, if we could look back and see what and just like try and have that kind of view of okay, what if our forefathers have looked at okay, this is how Nigeria was going to turn out. I mean, they would have made some decisions though. I mean, things happen that you can't just escape. What if, hypothetically, what if our forefathers actually, like our own forefathers actually went through? What are we going to say? We can't undo what's going to happen because things like that, they just happen and they just happen like that. But my point, what I was trying to say is that slavery is not good, definitely. But like with the current state of Nigeria, if there's that opportunity, not based on slavery, probably through immigration or something, if there's that opportunity to live, I mean, if we could ask our forefathers, they would definitely say that, okay, yeah, I think we'd take up that thing.
But opportunities to live back then. Well, do you think they would just order visa, flights? Oh yeah, I'm going to US. It's not. It is not. It wasn't done like that. It wasn't easy.
It was.
There was colonization. So currently, as a black man, do you think you have even the technologies at that time to you as a black man, you'll be able to buy tickets?
So what?
I'm going on immigration.
What about the French colonized countries? What happened to them? French colonized. I mean, the majority of the black guys in France,
Yes.
most of them their forefathers were brought to France. Yes or
Their
no?
forefathers were slaves. Go and check it.
But they were brought to France.
But they had to go through the slave
No, you know there's
points
different.
before.
There's the thing of assimilation and association. British practice the assimilation. French practice the association. That's why if they will say that I'm a Frenchman. We cannot say we are British. We say we are Nigerian.
The era of colonization came after slavery.
Exactly.
After slavery.
Exactly.
So colonization was more like slavery in your own country. Do
Exactly.
you understand?
Oh,
Why slavery was like they'll take you.
Because to an extent too, if we call a Jewish, and we mention what's that man's name? That German that Adolf Hitler. If you mention the name Adolf Hitler, they will have 1,001 things to mention to say also on their own part based on that. So it's almost it's relatively everywhere though. So it's just how it is though.
I have an example like that. Like my own popsy, my own father, gone. Sure you get. So eventually in the let me say maybe in the 70s or in the 80s, then when visa are still very cheap, and so he has the opportunity to travel abroad. You get, so he worked there for years. He worked there for years. Then he came back. He came back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I think 1990 or so. You understand? So after he came back, he said he has retired. He's not going back there again. Shey you get, so he only go there maybe for holiday or
Yeah.
vacation or something. But he has retired. When he now came to Nigeria, he now gave birth to me. You understand?
Okay.
He gave birth to my younger brother. So I think that was few years ago. I was asking him that, sir, you will have stayed in abroad and give birth to me in abroad. Why do you give birth to me in Nigeria?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of a thing, like, that is the suffering I'm going through. But you don't understand that you have to work hard and go there yourself, go back there yourself. I was like, instead of you giving birth to me here, you like just did that there. And since you have left, you will have, you understand?
Yeah, okay.
So just an example of that one is still polite. You can say, oh, the way I said it, like, okay, you'll have given birth to me there instead of giving birth to me here, and that does not simply mean that even though you are giving birth to in this country, does not simply mean that
You still cannot make it.
he still cannot make it, because he himself, what he told me is that he hustled, he tried, he strive, you understand,
Yeah.
to get there. So, but using slave and as the subject matter, no.
True. I get.
No.
All right now. So we've all agreed that slavery, using slavery as a medium for our forefathers to go out of Africa and then born in Europe,
Yeah.
is not really
Since
something
we
that
can't use it on ourselves, then I don't think
we should
we
do.
should.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much for the time, and I look forward to us having another conversation some other time. Thank you very much.